Halo Reach is many people's favorite Halo game. There are many reasons why Halo Reach is so beloved: a fun, engaging campaign, tons of customization, good music, but the ending of the game has to be one of the biggest reasons for loving Reach. Halo Reach in itself is a special game. It's the only campaign where you play as your custom Spartan, Noble 6. Noble 6 is such a fan favorite character because they are you. Their armor is the armor that you want, whatever helmet, chest piece, or even color you want, Noble 6 has. You are the one who helped bring down the Covenant supercarrier, bring down the Spire, fight through the best the Covenant could throw at humanity, and even deliver Cortana to the Master Chief. So to have the final mission be Noble 6 fighting against wave after wave of Covenant soldiers, surrounded by fallen Spartans, and meeting the same fate as the rest of Noble Team. At the end of the mission along Night of Solace, George sacrifices himself to destroy the supercarrier, and this leads to the rest of Noble Team dying one by one. Now, all their deaths weren't necessarily self-sacrifices. Kat in particular was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and June was actually able to get off of Reach to eventually train some Spartan 4s. But they all spent their entire lives on Reach trying to make sure that Noble Team and humanity can complete their mission and live on. Whether that be destroying a supercarrier, a scarab, or even getting the maker of the Saviors of Humanity off the planet to continue her work. Noble 6 was able to get Cortana, the most advanced AI ever and one of the key people that was able to fight against the Covenant and eventually the Flood, to the Master Chief. Just like the rest of the Noble Team, whether they knew it or not, they helped fight for a cause bigger than themselves. And Noble 6 even went the extra mile to help the Pillar of Autumn get off Reach by using the Mac Cannon. The Pillar of Autumn was able to do a random jump and ended up at Alpha Halo to continue the fight against the Covenant, leaving Noble 6 on Reach to finally have his sacrifice. Finding wave after wave of never-ending Covenant soldiers, there are so many weapons and armor abilities scattered around that you should be able to hold them off for seemingly ever. But with every hit, your helmet gets another crack until eventually it gets too much to even see your enemies, and it starts one of the best cutscenes in all of Halo. The camera stays with the helmet throughout it, with the sound effects heavily muted with this haunting music. A choice that I love, as it feels like you can only sit and watch Noble 6, you, fight to the very end, taking out as many of the Covenant as possible until they are overwhelmed. Before the shot ends, you see an elite with an energy sword wielded in their left hand, something not seen much in Halo. The mission ends with a shot of your helmet, the same shot you saw at the beginning of the game, because like the famous tagline, from the beginning, you know the end. In Halo CE and 2, there are even lines at the start of the game referencing Reach and its glassing. So when you start the game, you know that Noble 6 is not making it off of Reach. And even when given the option to leave Reach, 6 decides to make sure that Noble Team's deaths won't be in vain. Despite Noble 6 falling in battle, and all of Reach being glassed, hope isn't completely lost. The final shot of your helmet jumps to 37 years later, Reach has plants and grass growing again, and while all the old rubble from 2552 hasn't completely gone away, there are new settlements taking root. Even though the Covenant might have won the battle, they didn't win the war. Humanity lives on. As you see how humanity has continued on, Halsey narrates how our actions helped Chief and the rest of humanity. Halsey wasn't a huge part of Halo Reach, but with how influential she is in the overall universe, even coming up with the Spartan program, it's a good send-off for Noble 6. Honestly, this scene is such a small detail in the grand scheme of Reach, but it might have been one of my favorite things in all of Halo. Beating the impossible odds, even if you don't live to see it personally. Halo Reach might honestly have the strongest ending out of any of the Halos. I think only 2 others have an ending as memorable and impactful, but they still don't come close to Reach. Halo Reach will always be near and dear to me. I could talk about the game for hours on end. The ending in particular is just so special to me. No other game has been able to end on such a note that I still think about it more than a decade after I first experienced it. After all, we'll always remember Reach.